What if everything you were taught about money was wrong? Go to school, get good grades, find a safe, secure job, and save your money. For millions, this is the blueprint for a good life. But what if that blueprint was actually a trap, designed to keep you working forever? Today on Riches Recap, we're tearing apart the conventional rulebook and diving into a book that has challenged and changed millions of lives, Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. This isn't a book about how to save a few dollars. It's a story of two dads, one highly educated but financially struggling, the other an eighth-grade dropout who became a millionaire. Their opposing lessons about money will fundamentally change how you see wealth. Stick around because you're about to learn why the rich don't work for money. They make money work for them. Lesson 1: Escape the rat race. The book starts with Kiyosaki's two father figures. His real father, the poor dad, was a government employee with a PhD. His best friend's father, the rich dad, was a businessman. Poor dad's advice: study hard so you can find a good company to work for. Rich dad's advice: study hard so you can find a good company to buy. This is the core difference. The poor dad taught him to work for a paycheck. The rich dad taught him to understand how money works. Kiyosaki calls the traditional path of working for a salary just to pay bills the rat race. Imagine a hamster running on a wheel. It runs faster and faster, but it never actually goes anywhere. That's the rat race. You get a job, earn money, and your expenses rise. You get a raise, so you buy a nicer car or a bigger house, and your expenses rise again. You're trapped in a cycle of working harder and harder just to maintain your lifestyle, driven by fear of not paying your bills and the desire for more things. Rich Dad's first lesson is that the goal isn't to get a raise, it's to get off the wheel entirely. Lesson 2: Know your assets from your liabilities. This is the single most important technical lesson in the book. If you understand this, you understand the foundation of building wealth. Rich Dad's definitions are brutally simple. An asset is something that puts money in your pocket. A liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. Concept: the poor and middle class buy liabilities that they think are assets. The rich, on the other hand, buy true, income-producing assets. Here's the controversial part. Kiyosaki famously states that your house is not an asset, it's a liability. Why? Because every month it takes money out of your pocket for the mortgage, taxes, insurance, and repairs. The rich focus on building a strong column of assets first. Think of things like rental properties that generate monthly cash flow, dividend-paying stocks, a business that doesn't require your presence, royalties from intellectual property. Their assets generate income, which then pays for their luxuries. The middle class does the opposite. They take on debt to buy luxuries, which traps them in the rat race. Lesson 3: Mind your own business. When Rich Dad says, mind your own business, he doesn't mean you have to quit your job and become an entrepreneur. He means you need to distinguish between your profession and your business. Your profession is what you do to earn a paycheck. You could be a doctor, a teacher, a programmer. This pays your bills. Your business is your asset column. This is what makes you wealthy. The mistake most people make is that they spend their whole lives minding someone else's business, their employers. Rich Dad's advice is to use your day job to survive, but spend your free time and extra money buying and building assets. Don't spend your raise on a new phone. Use it to buy a dividend stock. Don't work overtime for a small bonus. Use that time to find a real estate deal. Your job is your present. Your asset column is your future. Lesson 4: The rich invent money. This lesson is about financial IQ. Rich Dad taught that true wealth isn't just about having money, it's about being financially literate. Concept: most people think you need money to make money. Rich Dad taught that the most powerful asset is your mind. Financial intelligence is the skill of identifying opportunities, structuring deals, and understanding the systems of money, especially taxes and corporations. Kiyosaki explains that the rich play the game differently. While an employee earns money, pays taxes, and then spends what's left, a business owner earns money, spends everything they can through the business, and then pays taxes on what's left. By understanding the law and the tax code, they legally minimize their biggest expense. This isn't about tax evasion. It's about using the structures the government created to incentivize business and investment. The ability to find a great deal, raise money for it, and structure it intelligently is how the rich seem to invent money. Rich Dad, Poor Dad is a powerful wake-up call. It challenges the safe path we've all been taught and offers a new blueprint. The goal is financial freedom, and the path is to build an asset column that generates enough passive income to cover all your expenses. Once your assets do the work, you are no longer a slave to a paycheck. It's not about how much you earn, but how much you keep and how hard that money works for you. It's about breaking free from the rat race. This book is required reading for anyone who feels trapped in their job and wants to build a life of financial independence. So here's my question for what is the number one asset you are focused on adding to your life right now? Share it in the comments below. If this summary opened your eyes, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to Riches Recap for more wealth-building wisdom, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Until next time, stop working for money and start making it work for you.